What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all have had a good day. We, of course, streamed a little bit of what Powell was saying at the New York Times event, and really nothing insane or novel or enlightening in any real capacity. But the Beige Book is out, which we'll talk a little bit about that in the first segment here. But first, let's take a look at what we got going on in the market right now. You have the composite trading about 1.18% at 19,710. Again, big movement up today, for sure. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial trading up about 0.64% at 44,993. You have that dollar trading off about 0.11% at 106.33. Crude oil trading off 1.6% at 68.82. Some really interesting stuff with crude oil, right? I was actually just talking to someone about this the other day. But, you know, obviously in America, we are drilling. We are the largest producer of oil, producing more oil than ever. You know, not just oil, you know, we're digging for natural gas, all these kind of things. We have so much shale that we can get into that we're not in currently. And we were discussing kind of the reason why gas prices were so elevated about 4 years ago. And I had kind of remembered there are these people had a political explanation for it, right? And I remember being like, it's not because someone else got into office, you know, the amount of production that we're doing is still stable, right? Someone else must not be, you know, producing as much, and that was OPEC. So OPEC had been producing a lot less for whatever their reasons are, you know, for that. And now they've gotten to a point where we have tried to meet that kind of void, and we really have been to the point where it's almost like they can't even increase outputs at this level to be profitable. Of course, we heard Iran talking about that regarding OPEC plus. So kind of an interesting realm, and we'll see, you know, if we get into a new cycle with oil going forward. I really want to talk to have Teddy Keckstad on the show. If you guys aren't familiar with Teddy, he comes on every Wednesday with Tommy O'Brien. He is the author of the Tiger Forex Report on TFNN. Fantastic newsletter. Really recommend checking that out. Again, you can go to right here. I'll just show you. You go to TFNN.com. You can go right to the newsletters tab. You scroll down here, and this is the Tiger Forex Report by Teddy Keckstad, and it's pretty solid. We got to get him to do a webinar pretty soon here at some point as well. Let's take a look right now. We have we have all my watch lists getting jumbled up. You have the SPY trading up about 0.56%. Whoa, at 607.30. Look at that. Very nice move for the day. Tesla coming up a little bit. I don't know if it found kind of a bottom in this area of consolidation. Obviously, still a lot of volatility, at least price-wise. Still trading up 0.54% today at 353.27. Take a look at this. Qubit again. We're talking about that, oh man, up 13.29%. It's trading right under $7. This is the whole thin film lithium niobate. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it a few weeks ago because it just seemed like it was getting some nice bids and everything was getting pumped. And, you know, one of the things that's super important to understand when you're seeing things like Archer blow up and stuff like that, right, is these are usually getting pumped in a major way. So if you're getting in right here, you can do this. It's cowboy and you can make money off it, but you need to be very, very sensitive and really have like a trailing stop if you're getting into things like this. Qubit wasn't really memed at all the way that Archer was. But regardless, the play would have been the same, right? They only had 2 customers. Turns out that they were kind of maybe overstating the order size, or rather the importance of the order in a major way. We went through a report yesterday from Iceberg Research saying that not everything is as it seems. They are supposed to have a fabrication plant coming out in Q1 of 25, like our Q1 of 25, and it turns out that where the location is doesn't really, is not enough space to hold something like that. Very bizarre, right? Additionally, I did some further digging on it as well, and they only spent about $2 million getting foundry equipment, which is certainly not enough to be commercial at any capacity. It's much more research oriented in a major way. So I called the park, an Arizona Research Park, I believe is what it is. It's like a big office park. If you've ever been to like a college or university town, you see a lot of them everywhere. But I called the lady and I wanted to see if there's any kind of, outbuilding for industry, and I got the voice message. So I'm going to keep calling. If she calls me back, I'm just going to be straight up and be like, yo, is there room for foundries there? And if she's like, no, and that, corroborates what Iceberg was saying, I mean, that's a huge problem, right? And I mean, what are we trading at right now with this? Nearly $1 billion market cap. You're at 818 million. You definitely reached over $1 billion at 920, which was its high. You have low volume coming down here, still volatility in prices, but I mean, if this was news driven and then FOMO driven beyond a way. I think there's someone pumping this, honestly. You had, I think, 2 equity firms who were giving this like an $8 price target before their orders even came in. So kind of curious about that. Anyways, that's Qubit for right now. Trading up 11.9% at $6.91. The biggest issue, that would be a short. That would be a reason to short this thing, right? I mean, 818 million is crazy. I think thin film lithium niobate is super interesting, but you also have, advancements in silicon for photonics chips. And why I believe photonics integration is the future, no doubt, the question is how long? And this is what I was bringing up with the stock itself when it was running at like, what, 215 or something like that, like around this area. And, right now to have an 815 million market cap, it doesn't stay there. And especially the news comes out that they don't actually really have a foundry. They have some kind of like just little research facility that costs them $2 million. I mean, this thing will tank. But you also run the risk of them saying, hey, we got the foundry up and running, which again would be a very small kind of research facility, and the market doesn't read any deeper into it and it kills your short. Yeah, the timing is hard on this, I think is what it is. And this will be news driven without a doubt. All right, let's, first let's go to the break. We'll be right back.